There are two types of multiple choice questions or MCQs. One where you have to choose one correct answer, and the second where you have to choose more than one correct answer. It is clearly mentioned in the question if more than one answer needs to be chosen. In the case of computer-delivered IELTS, you need to choose the correct answer or answers. In pen and paper IELTS, you need to write the correct answer in your answer sheet. You just need to write the correct letter. If you need to choose more than one answer, it doesn't matter what order you write your answer in. For example, in this question, the two correct answers to the 15th and 16th questions are C and E. In your answer sheet, you can write C in front of 15 and E in front of 16 or vice versa. Both would be correct. Let's now talk about some tips about how to solve this question type. The questions are in the same order as the information in the text. For all such question types, we read one question at a time, look for its answer, and then move on to the next one. So we read one question, identify the location keywords in that question, go to the passage, scan the passage for tentative location of the answer. Sometimes certain words from the options may also help you locate where the answer is. Once you have some idea of where the answer may be, go back to the question, understand it thoroughly. Don't just search for keywords. This can lead to errors. Remember, the language in the question is usually simpler than the language in the passage. Then skim through the options. Skimming means read very quickly without going into any details. So we understand the question thoroughly, just skim through the options. Then we go back to the passage and start reading the relevant portion of the passage. When you see anything that is mentioned in the options, reread the option again, try to figure out whether it is correct or not. Elimination of the incorrect options is very important when attempting MCQs. So cross out or eliminate the incorrect options. The multiple choice questions in IELTS reading may require you to understand minute details or may require an overall understanding of the paragraph. Let's look at a few examples now. So the first question here, the 27th question, is the purpose of the first paragraph is to. As I mentioned before, the first thing we do is try to figure out the location of the answer in the passage. In case of multiple choice questions, it's usually very easy to locate where the answer is. Sometimes the paragraph number is just mentioned. Like in these questions, you can see that first paragraph, second paragraph are clearly mentioned. And even if the paragraph numbers are not mentioned, very often there are very clear names or other capitalized words, which usually makes it easy to locate where the answer could be. The difficult part in multiple choice questions is figuring out which option is correct and which option is incorrect. So in this case, we know the answer is in the first paragraph. We also know that the answer is about general information in the first paragraph. We need to understand the general idea of what the first paragraph is saying. Whenever you need to get the gist or the main idea of any paragraph, start reading the first sentence in the paragraph. Wherever you get a feeling that you understand what the sentence is saying, you stop. You start skipping information a little. So start reading parts of the sentence so that you get a vague idea of what it is saying. Wherever you see a full stop, start reading the sentence again. On your screen, you can see the first paragraph and the parts of the paragraph that I read while trying to understand the purpose of the paragraph are in a different color. The reason we do this is so that we do not focus on the details, the examples, the names. We focus on the actual main meaning of what is being said. So there are just 3 sentences in this paragraph. The first sentence says that generally we believe that it is the genius and the intelligence of the famous scientists which lead to discoveries. The second sentence says that this viewpoint, the viewpoint mentioned in the first sentence, disregards or ignores 2 things. One, the previous experience of the scientists, and second, the work of the predecessors. Predecessors are the people who came before. So in this case, the scientists who came before these famous scientists. And the third sentence says that conventional wisdom, conventional is what is traditionally or generally believed, It gives a lot of importance to sudden coming up of ideas, spontaneous ideas coming up in someone's mind. I look at the options now. What is the purpose of the first paragraph? Is it to defend particular ideas? Well, certain ideas are mentioned. The first and third sentence talk about the conventional way of looking at things, the general way of looking at things, and the second sentence talks about how this way of looking at things ignores certain other things, so it could be wrong. But is the paragraph defending any ideas? No, it is not. Defending of an idea would mean that the writer is arguing in favor of an idea. The writer is telling you that this is the correct way of looking at things. That is not what is happening in this paragraph. This paragraph is just reporting, like this is one way of looking at things and this is another way of looking at things. The writer is not taking any sides. Because the writer is not taking sides, the writer is not defending anything. So we cross out or eliminate the first option. So eliminate only the options that you are 100% sure are incorrect. So if I'm sure a certain option is incorrect, I would cross it out. If I'm even a little unsure, I would put a question mark before it, that maybe this could be correct, I'm not very sure. Option B says compare certain beliefs. Certain beliefs are mentioned in this paragraph, but is there a comparison of those beliefs? That is what seems to be missing. The first and third sentence talk about the conventional way of looking at scientific discoveries. The second sentence says that this view or this belief ignores some things. The comparison of different beliefs is missing. So we cross out option B as well. Option C, disprove a widely held view. A widely held view is something that is commonly believed. The first sentence mentioned popularly believed. The third sentence mentioned conventional wisdom. This is the widely held view. Disprove means to prove that something is false. The tone of this paragraph seems to be against this view, but nowhere does it clearly go against it. It is not saying that this view is completely false. The fourth option is outline a common assumption. To outline means to give a general idea of something. A common assumption is the same as a widely held view, which is mentioned in option C. What the paragraph is doing is giving you a general idea of what is popularly believed, vaguely mentioning that this popular belief may be ignoring some things. That is all that this paragraph is doing. There is a slight tone of disagreement in the paragraph, but nowhere does it clearly disagree with this. So the correct option is option D. In the description of this video, you'll find links to other videos where many other multiple choice questions have been solved in detail. The thing about multiple choice questions or MCQs is that these questions are usually easy to locate, but they are time consuming and they require a lot of focus. You need to go back and forth between the options and the passage to identify which option is correct. Knowing the question types helps you decide which questions to do first and know the right technique for each question type. Basically, it helps you find answers quickly and correctly. Most of the question types have answers in the same order as the information in the text. In case of all of these question types, our target is always to look for location key information in the questions, scan the passage for the location of the answer, then read the question carefully, understand the question, and then focus on that part of the passage where we expect the answer to be. All the different methods of solving these question types that I've recommended in this video are just that, recommendations and suggestions. Obviously, your target is to find the answer. Practice a lot. See what method works the best for you. But certainly, knowing each question type well helps you identify that method for yourself. Most importantly, you need this knowledge of different question types to figure out which question type to do first. And finally, practice is crucial. However, just do not practice one test after another without pausing to understand why you made the mistakes that you did. So do a practice test, correct it, go back and figure out why you made every single mistake, and then move on to the next one. Just doing a lot of practice tests, one after another, may not help you improve your reading score. That's it for now. Hope this helped you. All the very best.